I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, congratulations on your nominations. Mr. Duva, you've been nominated to serve as the Assistant Attorney General for the Criminal Division. The Criminal Division sits at the heart of the Department of Justice's mission to protect the public. Your nomination comes at a moment where Americans are looking for one simple thing: to keep our cities safe, to keep our families safe. Because over the last 5 years, we have watched a dangerous pattern take hold in American cities. From 2020 to 2025, so-called peaceful protests left behind more than $2 billion in property damage. Blue cities: Minneapolis, Portland, Seattle, Chicago, New York, St. Louis, Atlanta, and Los Angeles. In some instances, entire downtowns burned, police precincts overrun, and small businesses destroyed overnight. 19 people were killed directly during the Black Lives Matter riots, and hundreds more died indirectly because ambulances couldn't get through and police were overwhelmed. After the October 7th, 2023 attack on Israel, anti-Semitic mobs took over college campuses, threatening Jewish students, seizing buildings, and spreading hate. And it didn't stop there. In 2025, coordinated riots once again engulfed Los Angeles and Portland before spreading across the country. Mr. Duva, do you believe that these were spontaneous riots, or do you believe they were organized and financed?
Thank you for the question, Senator Cruz. All of those incidents that you talked about were a real dark mark on our history during that time. I watched it on TV. There is no place for rioting, burning buildings, assaulting law enforcement officers, and there did seem to be coordination behind those. I agree with you. In any case that comes across the criminal division, we will be evaluating that. Again, I answered questions along that lines from Senator Britt, whether it's religious violence, violence against law enforcement officers, the Jewish community, or what have you. We will prosecute those cases to the fullest extent of the law and follow the facts where they lead. If they lead to coordinated attacks, financing, things of that nature, we will evaluate those cases through grand jury investigations and prosecute them appropriately.
Excellent. Federal law right now criminalizes rioting under 18 U.S.C. Section 2101, the Anti-Riot Act, which makes it a federal offense to travel or use interstate facilities to incite, organize, promote, or participate in a riot. The Biden Department of Justice refused to enforce that law. Will you commit under your leadership the Department of Justice will once again enforce Section 2101?
Yes, Senator. I think the best way to do that is you partner with the U.S. Attorney's offices in those areas. You mentioned Portland, Atlanta, some other cities, and that's exactly what I intend to do as the head of the criminal division, to have relationships with the U.S. attorneys in those areas, to contact them, let them know. We don't just want to operate on our own. You do that at times. The U.S. Attorney's offices do it at times, but it's best when you work together, and we will do that to prosecute that statute.
Excellent. Unfortunately, enforcing the Anti-Riot Act is not enough to combat the 21st century leftist riots that have burned our cities. Like the mafia of old, today's agitators are part of a layered enterprise. The foot soldiers on the ground and the financiers and masterminds who plan and bankroll the operations. The Anti-Riot Act can reach the rioters in the street, but has difficulty reaching the consiglieres and the dons who plan the chaos. That's why Congress created RICO, the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, to pierce the veil of coordination and hold every level of a criminal network accountable. Mr. Duva, RICO was one of the most powerful tools ever enacted and helped break the back of organized crime in America. Do you agree that that same model would be helpful in fighting today's politically funded violence?
I do, sir. You have to have evidence of the enterprise, and then you have to have the predicated crimes set forth in the RICO statute and also its sister statute, the Vicar statute. Those are tools that I'm well familiar with from my time as an AUSA. They were used in our Tampa division, they've been used in our Jacksonville division, and they are appropriate to evaluate in those circumstances.
Well, and that is precisely the logic behind legislation that I have introduced called the Stop Funders Act. The Stop Funders Act is simple. It adds rioting as a predicate offense under RICO, empowering the prosecutors to follow the money, to trace the network, and indict not just the rioter who throws the brick, but the donor who paid for it and put that rioter in that position to carry out that act of violence. It would give DOJ the tools to dismantle the financial architecture of political violence. In your judgment, would adding rioting to the list of predicate offenses under RICO aid in enabling the Department of Justice to fight and stop political violence and organized violence and rioting across the country?
We'll take all the tools we can get, Senator. I look forward to those discussions with the Office of Legislative Affairs and Legal Policy.
Terrific. Thank you very much.